Hello everyone, it's Sospens. If you're an odd one out, you may have heard of an indie comic artist who goes by the name AdamAppled. He's currently working on a comic called Otherside, a mystery fantasy story about two friends, Dan and George, exploring a secret world and hunting cryptids, creatures in the world. If you want more context and lore because you haven't heard of it, then you can go to AdamAppled's main YouTube channel or his Tumblr or his other accounts on other platforms. I honestly forgot all of them. But anyways, let's get right into the video. With the release of his official website for Otherside, I found some very interesting things hidden in the text and pictures, and I think I may have either inspired or predicted some things that have been confirmed, which is actually insane. I'm going to end this video with some more predictions and theories about how Otherside is going to go and some characters' goals of the story. But to start, let's talk about the concept of the jackalopes. AdamAppled released a video on December 12, 2025 titled Jackalopes and Lore. Just a few days before that, I posted on my main YouTube channel some fan art and a Clockmaster AU page with doodles on it. On it, I drew him listening to funk music, which I headcanon that Dan introduced him to Earth's music like pop and rock, and I drew him obsessing over a small bunny. We'll come back to the music thing in a bit, but what I find incredibly weird is that just a few days after he saw my post and responded to it, he released the jackalope concept and lore to the public. I tried to ask him if Clockmaster would have had a pet jackalope, but he never responded. So that leaves me with this. Either I somehow predicted that a form of bunny would be a big part in Otherside, or I came up with the concept and he took inspiration for that. I kinda doubt the second one, but it would be pretty cool if that was true. However, what makes me think twice on that is that his official Otherside website, if you go to the main shop page, you can see a new drawing of Dan holding one of his weapons and being silly. I'll give you a moment to try and spot what's weird about this drawing. Find it? Dan's wearing headphones. Going back to the funk music thing, Clockmaster was listening to the music through headphones, and AdamAppled has never mentioned this, that Dan likes music, I don't think. And he's never drawn Dan with headphones, so this is entirely new. Okay, editor's note, I was going back through AdamAppled's channel to see if Dan actually had listened to music in any, and I saw his sister really liked music, so maybe he got influence from that and it was canon from the beginning, I don't know. So did I inspire AdamAppled for these little details, or did I straight up make headcanons that turned out to be canon? I won't linger on this topic for long, so you guys can think for yourself on it. But it's actually just insane that this happened. Alright, let's move on to some of my theories and predictions for Otherside. Currently, the planning and scripting for the episode/chapter 1 of Otherside is still in progress. So we don't know a lot about what's going to happen. Although we know that the main cryptid for chapter 1 is going to be a gorgon, which is basically if a weeping angel and a half Medusa had a child.
It's time to make a new creature. I'm currently writing episode 1 of Otherside, and I need an antagonist. So, meet Dimitra. Dimitra will be the main character's first ever cryptid hunt, which by the way you'll be able to read very soon.
But what about for the rest of the story? We already know that Twig, the last remaining blood god, is out to get Dan and George and try to turn them into more blood gods and restart the pantheon of them or something.
This is Twig, and he's the main villain of the graphic novel I'm making right now called Otherside. Ever-beings are going to be a pantheon of blood gods, and Twig is going to be the last one of them. Ultimately, his plan is going to be to remake the pantheon using human souls.
And we know that there's going to be reoccurring cryptids such as the Clockmaster. Now, I won't be making any full theories on plots or storylines, but I will be making some predictions for some character arcs, starting with a strange image I found on the website. If you look really closely at the background, you can notice that one of the Clockmaster drawings have him trying to catch a falling trinket of some sort. And this trinket just so happens to be the amulet artifact that Dan and George used to literally see the cryptids in the secret world.
But this is the main artifact from Otherside. The idea is if you have it, you can see all the hidden sides of the world. If you've ever seen the Chronicles of Spiderwick, it does take a little bit of inspiration from that. Instead of seeing through it, you have to kind of activate it first.
Now, what could this mean? Well, there's a few things that I think Clockmaster could do in the story. 1. causing trouble. Clockmaster is known to like shiny things, especially coins and golden sorts, so he could want the amulet for himself just because it was shiny, which could cause a problem between the hunters and Clockmaster, and could also play into his reoccurring cryptid role. For example, Clockmaster could try many attempts at stealing the amulet and fail miserably, or actually succeed, which could cause some unwanted trouble or comedy relief. This would actually be a really funny addition to the story. Hold up, I am so stupid. He's literally holding the amulet in one of the drawings. Dude, okay, he's got to steal the amulet at one point. 2. Working on the other side. Get it? I'm so funny right now. Clockmaster could secretly be a cryptid working with Twig. So I know that came out of nowhere, but just hear me out. Twig seems to be one of the most powerful and, quote-unquote, rich in more ways than one creatures in Otherside, with what details are publicly known about him. He could bribe a small and potentially dangerous cryptid such as Clockmaster to steal the amulet and lead Dan and George right to his front door in return for something Clockmaster would want/like, such as shiny things, gold, or even power. I could see this happening in the story in some way, and even some kind of twist, like Clockmaster decides he's going to help Dan and George instead of Twig or something. But I actually have proof that Clockmaster could be building things for Twig, or working with him at least. In one of the videos centered on Clockmaster titled How to Make Creatures, we see just a few seconds of Clockmaster building what looks like a big robotic hand. And then in a video centered on Twig titled Main Plot Writing, we actually see Twig holding the exact same robotic hand. Now, whether this is a coincidence or an actual lore bomb hiding in plain sight, I can't say. Just think about what I've shown and tell me in the comments what you think and if I missed anything else. Guys, I missed something else. So I was going back to the Otherside website. I didn't know you could tap on the actual guys, like the characters and then the other characters. I tapped on Twig. I saw the Blood God written language that I've seen in one of AdamAppled's oldest videos. I went back and I deciphered as much as I could, and I think it is confirmed that Clockmaster is working with Twig. Just let me explain real quick. We already know that Twig's like getting Clockmaster to make stuff for them, I think. The writing on the wall, in the I made this character into a blood god thingy, I deciphered some of it, and I think I got the word gear at one point. And what is Clockmaster's symbols? Gears. And I think Clockmaster may actually be tied into taking down the hunters in Otherside with Twig. Like, I think it is literally confirmed. I'm going to do a whole video where I like decipher everything and like make another theory about it. I promise you guys. But let's get back to the video now. 3. Protecting others. Clockmaster could know that the hunters are dangerous and want to steal the amulet just for the sake of protecting cryptids from their clutches. Since we know that Clockmaster is a natural at building and creating things, he could be trying to take the amulet and tinker with it to make it not work or something, making Dan and George unable to see cryptids anymore, and therefore making them unable to harm or capture any cryptids that Clockmaster may be fond of or that he might have a special connection with. Now, I know this video has been half about Clockmaster, as he is my hyperfixation character for Otherside, but I have one more theory that is not centered around him. I believe that AdamAppled is going to be a character in Otherside. Hear me out, okay? If you take a closer look at some images/symbols on the website, you can see that his OC for himself and the symbols that represent him is actually way more reoccurring than some of the main characters at this point. I won't expand on this too much, as the chance of him showing up and having lines and being an entire side character is very low. But it would be cool if there was like a cryptid that looked sort of like a human and appeared in the background, or even had a small line or part in one of the episodes/chapters. And it would be pretty cool to get the literal creator's cameo in the book. And with that, I think that this video is the perfect length. If you guys want another video on Otherside and any other theories I might come up with, then let me know in the comments. And if AdamAppled's watching this, please let me know you saw this by commenting. Please. It would mean the world to me. Until next time, so long and stay so spendy.